Hey everyone, welcome back to Single Length School. As you know, I'm Craig, and in today's video, I really want you guys to understand, especially during the off season, how the mental side of the game can really affect your scores. Alright, so if you're new here, or you just haven't yet done so, hit the subscribe button down below, then hit the notifications bell right beside it so you know when we release new videos. So today we're talking about strategy and what to do on the golf course. And for a lot of amateurs, selecting the right club and having the right strategy out on the course often eludes you, and often eludes a lot of golfers. And it can cost you a lot of strokes. Let me explain what I'm talking about. So, what I'm talking about is, let's say you're looking at the green on your home course where you play all the time or most of your rounds at. At this point, you've probably played that course enough to know where the pin positions are, and you know how the greens are set up, where the breaks are, and which way the ball will move when it gets to the green. Well, let's talk about that. Think about some of those positions. Take a moment, think about some of those pin positions on maybe that very first hole that you play at your home course. For me, I know that my very first hole, the green is two-tiered. In the middle, it has a severe slope to the front, and everything moves to the left if I'm looking from the fairway. So it all breaks to the left. And in the front of the green, it severely breaks to the left. So anything that is coming down off the ridge is going to break from the back of the green to the front and from right to left if I'm looking from the fairway. Now, what our guys and our crew down there like to do is they have multiple pin positions just as every course. They have one front right, they have one front left, and then they have a back left and a back right, and sometimes they'll put one in the middle just on top of the ridge. Now, what a lot of us think we need to do when we're looking at those pins that day is, for some reason, it's in our head, we need to be a hero, and we need to go right at that pin. Why? All that's going to do is probably put us in a terrible position unless the pin's right in the middle. So we need to give ourselves the ability to get on the green and put ourselves in a position to putt. And a lot of times that's not going right at the pin. So, as I pop up some pictures here of my course and show you some of the different pin positions, I want to show you where I'm aiming and where I want to aim my shot. So, let's say we're talking the front right pin position here on the first hole at my home course. Here's the green, and here's the pin position. Now, if you look, this isn't a very big green to begin with. And what I have here is, if I go right at the pin, I've got very little room to miss to the right and very little room to miss in front. So I really don't want to be short and I don't want to be right, because it's going to leave me a short-sided chip. And I know if I'm to the right of the pin and having to chip, that ball will run the whole way across the green and I'll be chipping again. Now let's take a look at the front left pin position. Same thing. If I go at it, I've got very little room to miss. If I miss left or I miss short, I short-sided myself with a chip again. The only difference is this chip is uphill. Now, back left. Back left, I can't go long, and I don't want to be left, especially on this green because it's an uphill chip. It's a grass bunker to the left of the green. I don't want to be chipping up that big slope. Same thing, back right. I don't want to miss long because it's got a chance of going out of bounds, and I don't want to miss right because now I'm short-sided, and I still have that same issue that I had with the front right pin position, where if I chip, it's going to run the whole way across the green. In the middle, let's take a look at the middle. I've got lots of room around the pin on the middle. I can miss to the right. I can miss to the left. I can miss long. I can miss short. So Knowing what my misses are for each pin position allows me to plan my shot accordingly. Now, let's jump back to that front right pin position. Let's say that pin is at 145 yards. So, that pin's at 145 for me, front right. Now, we've already talked about the problems if I miss right and I miss short. The other problem I have to take into account is if I go long and I'm on top of that slope. If I'm on top of that second tier, now I've got to putt back down the slope and it's going to break to the right. So what's my best play? 145 yards, that kind of puts me between clubs. I either step on a gap wedge, which is normally about my 135, 138 club, or I lighten up on a pitching wedge, which is my 150 club. What's my best option here? Well, here's what I want you guys to think about. So I don't want to leave myself right, and I don't want to leave myself short in the rough. So, what I'm going to do on this location is I'm going to decide to take a pitching wedge and lighten it up. I don't want to go full power on my pitching wedge because it will put me on the second tier. What I want to do is lighten up on my pitching wedge, and I want to aim right in the center of the green. I don't want to pin hunt because I want to putt back uphill to that front right pin location. If I'm to the left, that's an uphill putt the whole way. So I just shorten my swing, aim for the middle of the green. If I miss left, I'm okay because it's uphill. I can chip up the hill. And if I miss to the right a little bit, I should still be on the green without having to worry about being short or being to the right and having to chip. I'm actually going to be closer to the pin. I don't want to go right at the pin, but if I do miss a little bit to the right, it's okay. I'm actually closer. Now, take a look at the front left location. Again, I don't want to miss left. I don't want to miss short. Let's say this one's 125. 125 for me is my sand wedge, my stock sand wedge. So I don't want to be short. I don't want to be left. And I know everything filters from the right to the left and from the back to the front. So because it's my stock sand wedge, I'm okay taking my stock sand wedge, hitting it to 125. My target is not right at the pin because if I miss left, I short-sided myself with a short-sided chip up the hill. It's going to be tough. And same thing, if I'm a little short and in the rough, I've still got that short little chip where I may duff it, I may scull it up over the top. I don't want to do that. So my aim for this front left pin placement is actually going to be to the right. I want it right on the right edge of the approach. Where that fairway comes in, I want it right on that right edge. And I want to hit my stock shot because my stock 125 should get me on the green. And I shouldn't have to worry about the top tier. Now, I don't want to miss left, and I'd much rather be putting. So if I aim to the right of the approach and I land it a little bit right, I'm still putting, even though it's downhill. But chances are, because I know the green, if I do land it to the right, that ball's going to filter down towards the hole. So, front left location, stock shot. I'm not going right at the pin. I'm going to the right of the pin because the green wants to go that way. And as long as I'm on, I'm still putting. And I've got room to miss left and right. Let's talk about those back pin locations. Now, these are a little bit different because, regardless, back left, back right, I think you guys understand my idea of what I'm trying to convey here, where I don't want to miss left and give myself a short-sided chip on a left pin location. Right location, same thing, just I don't want to be to the right of the pin and have to chip down that hill. So, what we're looking at here is I don't want to be long at all because it goes down a hill and out of bounds. So I've got the whole front of the green to work with. So let's say those pins are 160 today. And it doesn't matter, right or left, they're 160. Well, 160 is my 9-iron. That's to get it pin high. If I catch it even a hair flush, a hair thin, I'm over 160 and I'm over the back and I'm out of bounds, adding strokes to my game. Bad way to start on the first hole. So, what I want to do is actually go down a club. Because it's 160, I know it's my 9, but I want to stay on the green. So I'm going to go down to my pitching wedge, which is my 150 club. And regardless whether it's right or left, I'm going to hit my stock 150 club right at the center of the green. That way I have room to miss right and I have room to miss left, and I'm not chipping. I'm putting. And even if it comes back down to the front tier, I'd rather putt up onto the second tier than try and hit a short-sided chip where I have a better chance of duffing it, chunking it, thinning it, and adding up the strokes. Same thing if that pin were in the center where I showed you. 150, hit the 150 club. I've got room to miss in the back. I've got room to miss in the front, and I've got room to miss right and left. Now, why am I doing this? And why am I doing it in the middle of winter, in the off season? Well, guys, I want you guys to get used to this. I want you to scout your home course now. I want you to think, because you should know just about every pin location on that course if you've played it for a couple years. You've seen them all. Pull it up on Google Maps. Pull it up on the course's website. Pull it up on whatever app you use. Take a look at the greens. Plot them out. Maybe even make some notes in a notebook. Pins front right. Here's my shot. Here's my aim. What I see time and time and time again, and I'm guilty of it as well, is amateurs want to be heroes. They want to go straight at the pin. They want to flag hunt. And when you flag hunt with the pin in the wrong location, 9 times out of 10, you're going to add strokes. You're going to be bogey, double bogey, triple bogey, or worse, because you're not leaving yourself a putt. You're putting yourself in a position where you're having to give a short-sided chip that you now chunk, or you thin, or you put across the green, and those strokes add up. So if you can learn that side of the mental game now during the off season, take those notes, and when it comes spring, watch how much better your game's going to get and how many strokes you cut off your game just by knowing where to properly hit your approach shots into the green. So I hope that helps you guys. This Friday, I've got a great review coming. It's a new product, not long onto the market. It's something similar to something I've used, which I'm replacing with this magic toy. So check back on Friday with a video and the review. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and play smarter, or golf smarter, not harder. And I will see you guys in the fairways. Thanks a lot.